this time, could I have a motion to return to regular session, please?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? At this time, before we move on, I'd like to introduce everybody to Elise Minicha. She's our new student rep for this year. And as we get a little farther in the agenda, there's a section for her to speak, and she can tell us a little bit about herself.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is to the public. We have one person signed up, Tom DeCastro.
It's me again. Just a little catch-up and things. I'm getting approached by more and more people as I move about the city. They keep telling me, don't back down. You're on the right side of the law. And I think all of you know that. You can sit there with smug looks on your face or what have you. But the law is the law. It's written. It's in black and white. There's no gray area. You can change the title of jobs, but when you continue to do it at the same salary, you know, an apple's an apple, even if you put an orange peel on it. You can't back down from it. This has been going on since March. Should be the first thing on old business. It needs to be taken care of. This idea of we've got to have control of the board, it's gone far enough. It's a question of doing what's right. And it needs to be done soon. And there's no slander involved, Amy. Facts are facts. It's time that you, as the leader of this board, need to make a move. Otherwise, you're not worthy of the position.
Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. There's 4 items. Board of Education regular meeting minutes of August 21st, 2018. Extra classroom activities fund report, Oswego Middle School, July 2018. Extra classroom activities fund report, Oswego High School, July 2018. And special programs report. If I could have a motion, please. The second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we will go to curriculum with Carrie Place.
Okay, the 2018-19 federal title grants are in front of you. Just to explain a little bit about each grant, Title I, Part A, that grant supports any of our students that need extra academic support, such as our academic intervention services, AIS teachers, RTI teachers. It also is support for PD money for our professional development for our district. And there is also a small amount that has to be put aside for parent engagement within the title schools. Our title schools are Riley, Layton, Fitchie Park, Middle School, and the high school. Those are our title schools. So that's Title I, Part A, the majority of the money, how that's spent. Title I, Part D, that amount of money has to go to our jail to support our students that are in jail from 16 to 21 that are going for the GED or for even trying to recoup credits. Title IIA, Part A, that money has to be held or put aside for specific evidence-based programs. One of the allowances is to use it for class reduction. So we're using it to reduce 2 classes within the district. One at, we're holding our kindergarten at Fitchie Park at 18 and below. And we also have at Riley, we have 4 sections of 2nd grade. We're keeping that class size low. The state doesn't really look at reduction of class size as an evidence base, but if you do it in terms of keeping it 18 and below, they'll allow you to use that money in that capacity.
And just to be clear, though, that is to pay for the 2 teachers in order
Correct.
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's for the 2 teachers. Title III is for our English as a second language learners. We don't have a large amount of students that are L students, so I partnered with Fulton so we could put our money in one pot and do PD and family nights. It was, actually, we received 8,000, they received 6,000, so we put it together. Title IV is a brand new grant, title grant. It has 3 pieces to it. You're allowed to spend the money on well-rounded education, which we're utilizing as part of our literacy this year for K-3. And there's a health, safe and healthy health, which we're using for some of our social emotional work that we're doing. And then it's technology, and we're actually talking to Jamie to purchase more Chromebooks. Title V is called Rural Low Income, and we're utilizing the money for responsive classroom and mental first aid to help support the high school.
Any questions for Carrie? Could I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we move to personnel with Dr. Sweeney.
A, professional staff recommendation, administrative intern, Dawn Cooley is going to be the administrative intern at the secondary level at the high school for the school year.
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
B, professional staff recommendations, resignations, Christina Taylor, an elementary teacher here at Lake School, Deb Kasmer, fitness club advisor at the high school, and Arjun Nader, student council co-advisor at the high school.
Any questions? Motion?
Question. Exit interviews on all of it.
So Christina is actually moving closer to home, so she was able to find a school district that's a little bit closer where she lives. Deb Kasmer is working both as a PE teacher and as her administrative internship, so she felt that her plate was just a little too full to continue with fitness club advisor. And RJ has some other commitments that he's tending to as well.
Yeah, I understand. Did we do the exit survey? Or?
No, we don't have one established just yet. Maybe after you ought to kind of maybe have some discussion about that.
Could I have a motion?
I think kind of along that line, maybe then, I mean, I don't know, is it something that we're comfortable about having like a timeline for when we could have that? So we're not,
Well, I thought we were from for anybody from a teacher standpoint of view that was leaving or anything like that, that was already set up and we were doing it.
Heidi always has a conversation with other teachers that are leaving the district. Heidi or me, sometimes Carrie, certainly the building principals. We always know why our staff is leaving. It's pretty unusual for, we don't have tenured teaching staff in our district that just randomly resigns unless they're being relocated, or sometimes they will leave us to teach closer to home, which is the situation with Christina Taylor. She's leaving us to take a teaching position in another district closer to home.
I think
So,
it's just a matter again.
Brandon, it's a function of the personnel office.
So if
The
you were
personnel
looking
director.
for like specific feedback, is that I think what you were talking about before? So perhaps maybe as a part of the board goals, we can talk a little bit more about.
Yeah. But as they write their letter of resignation, they tell you when you're resigning. So what more of a survey do we need than their written hand?
Just a way to you're right, they tell us exactly why, and that's fine, but if we see some sort of a trend, just to put that together so that we can pay attention to it, that's fine.
and maybe there would be
It's
specific
exactly
questions
what we
to
talked.
ask.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what we talked about during our board goals, was to create data points so that we can start to track data points from a trending standpoint. If there's a reason that somebody keeps leaving and it's repeatable and you have data around it, then you can start to make a course change if needed. If not, then it's just a no. Right now, we get a piece of paper that says I'm leaving.
We could probably go back a year or 2 years even and look at resignations of staff other than, I mean, Casper and Dana are teachers in our district who are resigning extra comp positions because they're gonna do something else. But we could go back and look at situations like Christina Taylor and put together some, in a transmittal, some kind of explanation of, why did the last 10 staff members who left tenured positions leave us?
Well, why
What
not?
what does it tell us if
It's
a
historic
staff
data.
member, staff member leaves to move to work to be closer to home? What does that tell us about us? Nothing.
It doesn't. It
So
doesn't.
what do we
But-
care?
Well, that's one reason that somebody left. But if 10 people leave the same position in 1 year or 2 year increments, then we gotta figure out why they're leaving that position. What do we have to do different in that position?
It's really losing me. I
Well, let's,
understand.
if you speak to a fitness club advisor, right, but they come in for 1 year and they're gone, and then the next one comes in and then they're gone. And then we have to figure out why we can't build some sort of a base around whatever it is there and fix it. That's all that it is, just that data.
I guess what I'm suggesting is, I think we have that information.
Great.
We can generate
Yeah,
it for you.
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
We know. I mean,
Perfect.
no one leaves here and we sit and scratch our head, geez, I wonder why." I think
Yeah.
they usually put it right out there.
Right.
Or we would inquire,
I would
if it was
inquire,
some
if it was out of the
unusual
blue.
circumstance, why they might do that.
Well, when you do your exit survey, I'd like to put that alongside of the resignation letter and see what's different.
It would be more, it'd be a conversation.
Well, I'm not gonna remember the exit thing.
We don't see it
that they
anymore.
write down in 2 years or 3 years. I'm not gonna remember what she said or why.
No?
But they could be a mark in the data for that position. That's all that
Just
could be.
keeping track.
Yeah.
Or if there's certain areas that there is more of a turnover, and then you focus on those and say,
Could I have a motion, please?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
C, professional staff recommendation decision. So, these are people who have been board approved, who, for 2 different reasons, changed their mind prior to their 9/1 start. So with Abby, she was offered another opportunity closer to where she lives, and Jackie's husband is going to be located out of state.
Those would be 2 other examples of data that we can provide for you.
Yep.
That we know, they're not really resignations, but they sort of are. They were gonna come here, now they're not.
Something changed in their life, or what
Right.
was it? So-
Could I have a motion, please?
Take the motion.
Second?
Second.
Brandon? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
D, professional staff recommendations, probationary teachers. Michelle Clark, elementary education at Layton. Christy Pryor, school counselor, district-wide. I just want to take a note about Christy. She's actually coming on as our behavior coach. We've been trying to find a behavior coach for about the last year. There is no tenure area that's applicable to just a behavior coach alone, so she'll fall in the school counselor certification realm. And Jennifer Stace, mathematics at the middle school. Be it further resolved that the probationary expiration date will depend on the individual teacher's APPR ratings, and therefore be it further resolved that to receive tenure, the individual must receive overall APPR ratings of effective or highly effective in at least 3 of the 4 preceding years, and therefore be it further resolved that if the teacher receives an ineffective composite or overall APPR rating in their final year of probation, they will not be eligible for tenure at that time, and all 3 have a 9/1/22 tenure.
Any questions?
So with Christie's position, that's a new position that was created. I mean, I know we've been looking for a while for it.
Yeah.
Was that initiated by the trauma training in Ross Green? Is that like where that kind of idea came from?
It actually goes back farther than that.
Okay.
If you remember, you'll remember because I've actually been at it, but we had a behavior coach, a behavior coach for many years, and Linda Stumer. She was the district behavior coach. When she retired, Bridget Krausick took that position for several years. And then she went back into the classroom, and we wanted to sustain that program to support in classrooms. And we tried to recruit some internal candidates last year, but they're hesitant to give up their regular position to go on a special assignment. And then we found this candidate who has a strong background in mental health counseling. So she's a perfect choice for behavior coach, and but falls under the school counselor kind of area.
And then she work one-on-one with kids, or is it a group setting, or how does that?
She'll actually be able to work with students potentially, but more so be able to observe and assist with teachers.
So she'll be
have-
in the classroom,
Yeah, she'll be in the
additional
classroom, giving some
resources.
advice.
Pushing all over the
Okay.
district.
Part of behavior planning, part of team meetings at the building level. No, great.
Could I have a motion?
Motion.
Tom, second?
Second.
Amy? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
E, professional staff recommendations, regular substitute. Ashley Deming, ELA at the high school. This is for the 18-19 school year only because this is part of one of Mary's title grants. So she'll come in and do AIS services for kids specifically for ELA. And Stephanie Cruel as a teaching assistant level 1. Her position will be split between Riley and PBS for the 18-19 school year.
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
F is Riley, extra comp, choral director, general music, Sierra Winkhausen at 3,000.
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
G, professional staff recommendation, OHS extra comps. There are some after-school positions, the new fitness club advisor, Morgan Manton.
Any questions? Motion?
Move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
H, extracurricular volunteer recommendation for a boys and girls soccer goalie coach, modified at all levels to be varsity. Jeff Baum.
Any questions? Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I, support staff recommendation, resignations. John Baum, school bus driver. He'd actually been on kind of an educational leave for the last couple of years, and he's heading off to pursue another field. Morgan Longley, a typist here at the Ed Center, and Dawn Althol, another school bus driver.
Any questions?
Yeah, just, is this exit through ain't gonna apply to staff, all staff, or just teachers?
Good question. Exit survey. We're gonna create
Well, whatever you're
we're gonna
talking
create data that we can report out to you periodically on why people are leaving and what we know about
That's
it.
it.
But it will
What-
include all staff.
Sometimes we can't if it's confidential.
I understand. Sure.
Yep.
Could I have a motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
J, support staff recommendation, temporary summer. Barb Zero is moving to one of the library clerk positions at Minetta. She was our bookroom clerk. And Sherry Lawton was our health assistant moving into the bookroom. So Mr. Wallace was able to work with Nancy and find some funds to allow some cross-training over the summer.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
K, support staff recommendation, change in status. Michelle Matat is going from a 3-hour to a 5-hour teacher aide at Riley.
Any questions? Motion?
Make the motion.
Tom, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
L, support staff recommendation, permanent. Laura Chouse completed her probationary time as a food service helper part-time at
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
M, support staff recommendation, contingent permanent. Catherine Miano, account clerk typist here at the Ed Center. Contingent permanent is a notation that she's completed her probationary period, but it's still contingent on another employee taking and scoring high enough on an exam, a civil service exam when it's offered.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second? Sam? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And N, our substitute and temporary employees.
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next is finance with Nancy Squires.
A is an agreement with Devereaux Foundation. It is a residential service treatment for one of our students that transferred in from the Mexico School District this summer.
Any questions? Motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
B is our annual proposal from E&D Insurance for the ACA tracking and reporting that they do for the district for $12,000.
Any questions? Motion?
Move it.
Second? All in favor? Opposed?
If I may, I'm going to take C and D together. We received 2 donations, one from Pack Associates for $500 and one for King and King Associates for $500 to support our opening day food.
Any questions?
Just thanking them for that. It was really nice.
Could I have a motion? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
E is for the board to accept a grant from Connect Kids in the amount of $85 for 3 second grade classes at Riley.
Any questions? Motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
F is for the board to accept a donation that was procured by Molly Clark for Riley School again for a Lego library wall in the amount of $494.76.
Any discussion? Motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
G is for the board to accept another donation from Donors Choose. It is for Kelly Moxley's 5th grade class at Kingsford Park in the amount of $528.22 for flexible seating.
Any questions?
Move it.
Motion?
Move it.
Second? I'm sorry, I didn't hear second.
Second.
Okay.
I got that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
H is for the board to approve a budget transfer of funds from maintenance, construction, or contractual expenditures rather, to cartage. And this is for our dumping fees in the amount of $6,000.
Any questions?
Just why, for what reason?
So when we had looked at the budget initially, the dumping fees always are an estimate.
Okay.
And the bills come in sporadically. So when we were doing the budgeting process, this usually was covered. When we did the calculations at the end, when we received all the bills, we found out that we were going to be short in the budget. So Dave found money in one of his accounts to transfer over specifically for this.
Is it something we can expect, or was there a specific, like a project that he did, or was it just more school clean out, carpet, or what?
It's just regular cartage,
Just-
dumping fees, annual, and it was never really broken out or tracked before. Now they're doing it.
Okay, so now they found out that
Now they found
need-
out.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Budget.
Yeah, exactly. Add six.
It's on my board as an extra.
Right.
Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I is for the board to accept an agreement with CBIZ Valuation for fixed asset tracking in the amount of $1,560. Last year, CBIZ came in and they did an insurance valuation as well as fixed asset tracking for every single one of our assets, every piece of equipment, piece of furniture throughout the whole entire district. They did that for free as part of our insurance. And this is just so that they can keep up with the additions and disposals that we do during the year. Any
So when-
questions?
When
we make purchase throughout the year, the district doesn't add that to our assets, we wait
No.
for them to come back in and do it?
No, we track the fixed assets. For example, I know that we purchased buses, we deleted some buses. We have some expensive pieces of equipment that are over $5,000. We give them all that information. They actually calculate the depreciation. So it's not only for fixed asset tracking and insurance purposes, but it's also for a year-end audit so that they can do our consolidated financial statements.
So this would be done on a yearly basis then?
Yes.
And so-
Who did all that before?
It was done by our auditors, but then when CBIZ came in and did the whole entire valuation, the auditors stopped. So in order to keep the momentum going, we want to contract with CBIZ to do this on an annual basis.
And I know we talked about this in the meeting, is this a savings as compared to what the auditors charged us?
The auditors said that if they had to go back and recreate what CBIZ did, because they have all the depreciation schedules now and it's broken down into a specific process, that it would be more than what CBIZ would charge us for this.
Could I have a motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
J is for the board to accept the transfer of equity from some of our old projects to the new renovation project. And if you noticed in the paper today, it said that it was going to support the 2018-19 budget. It has nothing to do with the 18-19 budget. This is just taking voter authorization from old projects and moving it over to the renovation project at the high school because it's easier to track all of the expenditures from one account. It was actually proposed by our auditors when they were here last week for the year-end audit in order to clean up some of our voter authorizations that were still outstanding.
Any questions?
668,000, that was surplus from the XL project in 17.
Correct, and the other one was from the May 2012 referendum.
Nancy, when we replaced the RTU units at Minetto this past summer, after 2 years, wasn't some of this money?
It was, I already took that into consideration, plus a buffer, so there is still money in that account until we pay for the RTUs. So that's already netted out of here.
The one account from the capital project in 2012, that's where we got that permission to use this startup money to be able to move us and to do those kinds of things. So now both these capital accounts, now they're empty.
They
right?
will be,
So that you can use that in that fashion?
yes.
Okay, all right.
Could I have a motion?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next on the agenda is a new part of our agenda. It's the student representative discussion. And I've asked Ellie to just tell us a little bit about
Not to put down the spot.
herself. Sorry.
I'm Ellie Benicia. I'm going to be a senior over at OHS.
How did you do it?
What?
How do you do it?
What do you want?
Ellie's involved in the meeting, you can imagine. She's great.
Welcome.
Yes, awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for taking the role.
And next on the agenda is,
Skip the superintendent.
I'm sorry.
Skip that.
Thank you.
I'll just slide in now, okay?
Okay.
I only wanted to talk about two things, because I'm gonna ask for another executive session, but, I attended the reception at Minetto this afternoon for Alice Bristol. You'll recall that, Alice turned in her intention to retire late this summer. She has 47 years of continuous service to our district at Minetto School. She actually started there when I was in 3rd grade. And no joke that she remembers. It was really lovely, Jenny. I appreciate being invited to that. I think she really appreciated it too. And I was able to present her with a certificate that she would typically have gotten in June at our retiree recognition and her genuine acrylic paperweight that looks like crystal. And she was very appreciative of that. The other thing I wanted to just mention was I thought we had a really good opening day today. The program at the high school was jam-packed full of a lot of required refresher programming, professional development, sexual harassment training, right to know, and the list goes on, as well as DASA training, and that included all instructional and non-instructional staff. I wanted to again thank King and PAC who came through and made donations so that we could once again provide refreshments for our staff as they came in. That was really, really nice, and we haven't been able to do that in a few years. I wanted to thank Heidi and Carrie for putting a lot of work into organizing the facility, and certainly Pat. We always have great support from our partnership with City BOCES, not only with Patty Serio and her work around school safety and right to know, but Roseanne is always entertaining and informative, and she was entertaining today. Food service, Jane, thanks for putting that together for us. And Jamie, who helped one of our graduates produce that video that we were able to use as part of my presentation, and the sentiments of all the administrators. And me. Okay.
Next is items from the board. Would any board members have any items tonight?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback on what Dean just said. I also attended with Tom and Amy were there for the activities today, and I think I can honestly say I've attended many of them, and I think each year they get a little better. Today's was, the administration team was wonderful. Some of them were a little bit long in their speeches. Put your head up there. But they were entertaining, they held everybody's interest, and I even stayed around, Tom and I stayed around for the DASA and all the other stuff afterwards it was long, but it was informative for me. I learned some stuff that I thought I knew it all. I don't. Pardon me?
It was a celebration.
That's nice. It was a two-man committee, he's chairman. Maybe he'll report. But it was a great day, and I thank everybody that participated. It was fun.
Let's hope tomorrow goes off well as well. The kids are coming back, freshman first day. At Oswego High School was hugely successful last year. And the high school looked great for freshman orientation, Pat. And the students were calm, and parents seemed very happy.
Tears.
No, a few. They were teachers. But other than that, no, it was all good.
Hi. And I just want to say I was able to go to the Layton open house, which was awesome, and it was great just for me being first year to be able to walk around and meet all the teachers and see the enthusiasm and commitment and passion and the temporaries. It was very inspiring because you peel back so many levels of this, and each level goes deeper and deeper, and you just really see the commitment there, and it was great, and I appreciated that. The same with the high school, Pat, for that opening day. And the one remark I have to make between opening day today and the other day at high school is that even though we're all teachers, there are a lot of teachers and administrators, just like the kids, they wouldn't go down the front row. The front row was all empty, nobody went down to the front row. I loved it, it was the same way. But it was great, and I appreciate that, so thank you very much.
Usually it's elementary near the front, middle in the middle, and high school in the back, just like.
I just wanted to point out that every once in a while we get obviously somebody within the district reaches out to us with a question, and making our job very easy. Jane, thank you, and Nancy for, I sent them just a question I got from a person. I think they both responded within an hour or so, and as far as I know, the person's super excited. Whatever happens, happens, but thank you very much for that, because, for what it's worth, it makes us look good because you guys did a great job, so thank you. You're not being independent. It's fast.
They just happened to be sitting at their computer. I don't think I opened my email today yet.
Any other items from the board?
First day tomorrow.
No, we didn't do the committee, did we? Committee reports, or were we not going to do that?
No,
We
I don't
skipped over
think
committee
we had
discussion.
any.
Well, facilities.
Facilities?
Oh, facilities.
Did you have something?
Facilities. I just wanted to give an update on where we were so far.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Which was great as far as over at the high school. Pat, this was as of last week, and the knock part 6A was about 99% done. and they were just looking to tie up loose ends, so that's gone very well. And 6B, which was the office move over there, was about 65% at last week. Is it still in that ballpark?
Started taping today, they came in with the tape guns.
Did they? So it's
That's a good
really,
sign.
I mean, it really looks great, and the process is moving along really nice, package forward. All the contractors getting together on the bi-weekly, it's been really nice to just see it move along, and they've been moving along quite nicely.
A lot of positive comments from staff that haven't been in the high school since we started the project, and they came into the lobby this morning and they were like, they can't necessarily put their finger on what's changed. The portable wall is now a real wall. All the suspended baffle system is gone. New ceiling, all new paint. And if you're not a high school teacher, you just know it's different. Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Any other items? At this time, Dr. Gui, you said there was a need for another executive session?
Yeah, it would be, legal, real estate.
And would there be a need for a vote after?
And illegal real estate.
Yes. Yes.
At this time, could I have a motion to move to executive session?
Yes.
In a second? All in favor? Aye. You may move to executive session.